Information to help you run your business better and improve your marketing campaigns. My name is Hank Hoffmeyer, and thank you for joining me on Hank's Marketing and Business Tips. Welcome to episode 258 of the Hmbt podcast. I'm back to having guests on the show, and today I'm joined by Lawrence Berger. Lawrence is a sales trainer, speaker, author, poet, podcast guest, and performance coach. That was a mouthful. Basically means he knows a lot. We're going to talk today about some things that you can do to make sure that you're staying focused. Maybe if you're looking to be an entrepreneur, you are. What are some things that you need to be doing to make sure you're successful? And also maybe talk about getting some rest, because I think we're all tired, especially during this pandemic. We're tired of a lot of things, but we're also just tired. Lawrence, thanks for joining me today.
Thanks for having me, Hank.
It's great to have a discussion with folks that really can help us focus, because we're almost 2 weeks away to the new year, and we're in a year of a pandemic, and a lot of us have been working from home pretty much the whole year. I have pretty much almost the whole year, and we're tired, right? We're tired of what's going on. We're tired physically, mentally. And I keep saying this. I think the last 2 episodes I've said, everybody thinks January 1st is going to hit and everything's just going to reset, right? Everything's going to be back to normal. Pandemic's going to be over. And, I'm not going to be as tired anymore. I'm going to be focused. I'm going to be able to hit the ground running, but that's not really the truth. And I wanted to get your thoughts on, number one, what are you doing to prepare for the new year, right? That'd be a great thing to hear. And then also, what is relatable to my audience? In other words, what do we need to be doing right now so that once January does hit and the pandemic is still here, it's not going to magically disappear, but also it's just a new year, new opportunities. And people can think about it negatively or positively, but I want to get people to start thinking positive. And what do we need to do to make sure we're staying focused and meeting our goals?
Right. Well, Hank, the one thing I got to agree with you on is that sleep is very important. When I was first starting my business, I was working 23 and a half out of 24 hours a day, sleeping half an hour a night and living on 20 ounce Mountain Dews a day. That didn't last long. In fact, they had to shut down that business because my doctors wanted to put me in the nursing home, and I had to go to court to keep my business and keep my freedom. So sleep is extremely important to me. I now get 8 hours, and I can't recommend highly enough that entrepreneurs need to stop focusing on business long enough to sleep.
And I think it's important to talk about that for a second and dive a little bit deeper, because there's that whole mantra, work smart, not hard. And people just take that black and white. In other words, try to get things done faster, but then maybe do more. And what you just said, working 23 and a half hours, that is not feasible, because even if you could survive a week, a month, a year, sleeping a half an hour a night, or maybe even 2 hours, what kind of quality work are you doing when you need to focus on, say, a marketing plan, a business plan, or just getting new customers or serving the customers you have? If you're a service industry and you're tired and you're fatigued, something can happen. You can get hurt, injured, or worse, killed. There is the power of sleep, the power of rest. And even with your mind, even if you're not sleeping, you need to really just organize your mind, slow down a little bit, and make sure that you're doing things in a quality manner. And yeah, work smart, and you can work hard, but make sure you do things with focus and don't focus on too many things, I guess would be a good thing to say, right?
Well, I had a healthcare professional that put it like this. We've all heard of fight or flight, right?
Yes.
Well, there's the other half to it called rest and digest. You've got to relax a little bit. You've got to take the time to take it in. If you're pushing and pushing and pushing, you're going to on the fall of the law of reverse effect. If you push too hard, you're going to get pushed back, and it's going to affect your health. It's going to affect your ability to do business. It's going to affect your family life. It's going to affect your home life. It's going to affect your relationships with both your clients and your family and your friends. It's very important. So you got to take time for rest and digest too.
I love that. Rest and digest. And that can mean so many different things. It's almost like if you take it to a personal matter, it's like you have a great meal. What you want to do is after the meal, rest, let it digest, but also it allows you to remember the great meal you just had. There's so many meals where I've taken dinner or lunch from the kitchen, brought it in here in my office and started working while I'm eating, I'm not enjoying the food. I'm not resting. I'm not relaxing, and I'm not absorbing the quality tasting food. You need to really, I guess, almost it correlates to like living in the moment, and it means focusing, and it means I guess celebrating your successes, your wins, and figuring out problems. Looking at problems and looking at a solution for those problems. Another thing that just popped into my mind was, deep work, right? A
Yeah.
lot of people say you have to work deep and be focused, but I think you need to focus for a period of time. Maybe that's 20 minutes, an hour, then take a break and get that rest, relaxation, or rest and digest. I love that. And I think that that might even be the title of the show, Rest and Digest.
Right. Yeah. I'm a firm believer in working a few minutes, taking a break, working a little bit, take a break. I have a client who we bill by the minute. I work as a laugher as one of my jobs. I actually work with comics to work on their new material. If it's good, I laugh. If I don't, I don't. I've gotten people on Showtime. I've gotten people in comedy clubs. I've gotten people all over the place, and it's a real fun job. I've been doing it for 27 years, but we only take 20 to 30 minutes. They can't cover more than an hour's worth of jokes because I can't laugh that much. No one can breathe that hard. I love it. I wish I could, but you got to take time to rest.
Yep. Lawrence, what would you say to people that are saying, you know what, I'm working from home now, my home office, and if I walk past my work area in my house, I feel drawn to it and I have to do things. I think people are saying that they have less rest, relaxation, or they have a lower ability to take a break because, hey, I'm used to going and taking a walk around the building at the office, or there's the gym at the office. I would go hit that in the morning or the afternoon. I just don't have that opportunity at home. What would you say to people like that feel this year is kind of a bust when it comes to taking mental breaks, or, what I call like a physical break where you're doing some exercise?
In The Richest Man in Babylon, one of the cures for lean purse is setting a budget. The story says that one of the people in the class of The Richest Man in Babylon learning the 7 cures for the lean purse rebels against the budget because it would make him little more than a pack ass to carry a burden. Yeah. The Richest Man in Babylon responds and say, well, who would make your budget? He goes, you do it yourself. And that's what you got to do in your home. You've got to budget your time. You've got to budget your ability to work. You've got to budget time for rest breaks. You've got to budget time to eat. You got to budget time to work. And you're the one making it yourself. You're not in a work situation where it's being done for you. And if you do it yourself, you can do whatever you want.
Right. I would say go right now, look at your calendar, block some time off, for lunch, block some time off for
Yep.
walks or just mental breaks. My boss and I had a meeting last week and she made me look at my calendar and she said, where's there a morning or an afternoon that you could block off the whole day and have a no meeting day? So it turns out on Wednesday mornings, for the most part, unless an emergency comes up, I have a no meeting Wednesday mornings.
Mm-hmm.
And that allows me to do focused work, but also maybe what I can do is put a couple slots in there to go take a walk or something like that. And I've been forcing myself lately to get up and away from my desk, at least, go walk and do something in the house somewhere, or go outside and go to the mailbox, check that, come back in, or maybe do a quick walk around the neighborhood just so that I can stay healthy. And then when your brain's a little bit more relaxed, going back to what we just started talking about at the beginning, I think you could do more quality work. You could focus a little bit more. And that's where I think those aha moments come up. Maybe you're working on a problem or a project and you're stuck. Go take a walk and maybe talk to someone about something different. And you'll come back and maybe say, oh my God, I have the answer now, because your mind's a little bit clearer. And there's just something clicking in your head now where there was just so much garbage and noise in your brain.
Yeah, for me, it's different every day, but I always take some time to relax. I have a story time with my mom, and we read together. That's our break time. We read a chapter of a biography or something, or one of my poetry books, or one of my self-help books, or something to just break up the day. And she takes time out from her day. I take time out from my time. It's a little different every day. I don't schedule one day a week. It depends on how my week is going and what I have to do on a particular day. But we usually average about 2 hours a day.
That's good. You got to take time to do that. And, some people say, I just don't have time to do things. But you said, make that budget and don't just budget your money, budget your time,
Yeah.
budget your life because you only get one life, right? And if you're really going to sleep half an hour a day, you're just not getting a quality life because you're probably going to feel like you're living in a dream.
They used to tell me, in order to get what you got to do done, you've got to be alive to do it. And if you don't take
Yep,
care of yourself, you don't.
I
You're
agree.
not going to be alive. Yeah.
I agree. You could delegate it, but then it wouldn't be, you wouldn't be you completing it. Any other thoughts on making sure that we stay focused in 2021 or we get that rest and relaxation that we need?
Yes. Don't work all the time. In your budget, include time to play. Play is very important. If you're not having fun, you're going to be unhappy. Fun is forget unhappiness now.
I like that. That's awesome. For me, I'm a workaholic. It means I love what I do, and I work when I need to and play when I want to. No, not everyone can fit that model. In other words, if you have specific hours of the day that you have to work because you have that schedule, you have to do that. But for me, sometimes I'll start the day a little bit later, and then what I'll do is the next day I'll do something a little bit fun and basically do things after hours or something. I don't have specific hours that I want to get things done. I just work when I feel creative, work when I need to help a client, a colleague, or get a project done. But like you said, I budget the time in there to say, hey, I want to go camping this weekend. I'm going to take that Friday off, or maybe I can work remotely for half the day and then be where I need to be for vacation the second half of the day. But make sure you're taking the time you have, whether it's PTO, mental stress days, and unwinding a little bit and having fun because life is not work. But if you find a job where you really love what you do, sometimes it kind of blurs the lines a little bit, but you still have to be careful because you don't want to be working all the time.
Yeah.
I love all the ideas you have, and these are things I've never heard of, and I definitely want to make sure folks, hear about that. Fun. I love that. I got it. What was the definite? What was the
Get
acronym?
unhappiness now.
Forget unhappiness now, folks. Forget unhappiness now, folks. Get happy in a new year. Uh, Start off with a fresh, clean slate. You're going to have some great ideas next year. And Lawrence, if people want to learn more about you, what you do, how to connect with you, what is the best way to do that?
The best way is to send me an email. My
All right.
email is lberger1027@gmail.com.
All right. And also connect with Lawrence on LinkedIn. I'll have a link in the show notes for both his email and LinkedIn. How do you help folks? And if folks were interested in learning more, I kind of said what you did, but in essence, what can they expect if they wanted to have a conversation with you? What do you help people do?
Basically, I'm a success coach. I help people realize their dreams.
And I feel like folks need that right now because we may have ideas on what we want to do, what we want to be, how we want to do things. But I'm a firm believer of having a mentor or a coach that can see things from the outside. I always talk about marketers that always say, hey, I have this idea, this message, this branding, this color scheme that I want to get out into the world. Here's how I want to market it. But
Mhm.
that's not how you're going to be successful. You have to look at your audience and figure out what do they want and tailor it towards them. And I feel people like you can take a look at someone and really pull out talents, energy, passions, and help direct their energy into the correct channels, forms, whatever you want to call it, so that they can really become successful above and beyond just working hard and seeing results. What you want to do is take that innate talent you have, expand upon it, let the world see, know, and then become more successful. And people like Lawrence, they're going to be able to help you find out what your true calling is, bring out the best in you if you already know what your calling is, and just be your accountability coach.
Yeah, that's it in a nutshell.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you being on today. Folks, if you want to hear previous episodes, head over to hankhoffmeyer.com/Alexa. I'm on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, pretty much everywhere you can listen to podcasts. I'm also on YouTube. This will air on YouTube in the video format. I appreciate if you'd give it a like and also subscribe, and also review this on iTunes or Google Play if you can. It helps other folks find this wonderful content. Lawrence, I appreciate you being here today, and go out and have some fun. And now hopefully everybody's going to think about the word fun a little bit differently.